Umar drops the pages and he falls down onto his knees. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيا. I am content with Allah as my Rabb, with Islam as my religion, and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as my Nabi. He keeps repeating this until the anger of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam dissipates and cools down. Then he explains to his Sahaba that I have been sent with the final word, the final deen, the final religion, the final way of life. Leave the ummats of the past. Leave the Jews and the Christians. Leave the ummats of the previous Anbiya alayhimus salatu wassalam, if those Nabis of Allah, لو كان موسى وعيسى حيين لما وسعهما إلا اتباعي. If the Nabis of those ummats, if Isa and Musa alayhimus salam were alive today and they chose not to follow me, they also will go to Jahannam. Leave those ummats, those Nabis also. Today, what is the position of the ummat of that same Nabi? Forget those Nabis. Forget the followers of those religions. The worst people of those religions, the worst type of idolaters, the worst specimens of society, whose every day is in sharab, and whose every night is in zina, and propagators of such ideas, which even shaitan would be ashamed of them. The followers of a Nabi, the members of an Ummat, who are told by their Nabi that those Nabis also you can't follow. Leave those Nabis. The worst specimens of mankind today have become our idols. And we are emulating and aping them. Their posters are stuck in our bedroom walls. We stand outside the masjid and talk about their affairs. This one is having an affair with that one, and that one is having an affair with that one. The very essence of the filth of zina has come out of us. That Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that when zina takes place, this act is an act of such filth that Iman cannot tolerate it. Iman leaves the body of the person and stands at his head. And when he has finished with the despicable act, then only the Iman comes back. He said, you can't follow those Nabis also. And our situation, we have idolized the worst type of people. He said, like when water is poured onto a plant, that water causes that plant to grow. In the same way, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the 7 heavens and the 7 earths can come to an end. Allah's qasam, not one word of lie ever emanated from the lips of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, like when you will pour water on a plant, that plant will grow. In the same way, if you will listen to music, nifaq and hypocrisy will grow in your heart. You will become a munafiq. At the time of maut, to recite kalima will become impossible for you. I am not saying it. Janabi Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said it. On the one hand, we give lip service that he is the Nabi of Allah. We give lip service that we are his ummah and his followers. And on the other hand, practically in our day-to-day life, from head to toe, we have chosen to emulate others. Others who openly and unashamedly make a mockery of that which Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came with. And when the message is given, when the dawah is given, when the invitation is given that by you were supposed to be taking the rest of mankind out of Jahannam. Like Rib'i bin Amir radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, when he walks into the court of Rustam, a kafir king, Ma ji'na ilaykum, we haven't come. This ummah hasn't come of its own accord. Allahu ibta'athana ilaykum. Allah sent us. Allah sent this ummah. Nahnu mab'uthuna min Allah. We have been sent by Allah. For what? لنخرج العباد من عبادة العباد إلى عبادة رب العباد, to take you and the rest of mankind out of the servitude of things that makhluk se nahi hote hai. The creation is not doing. Your wealth is not doing Rustam. Your kingdom is not doing Rustam. Your armies are not doing Rustam. Your technologies are not doing. And tell the whole mankind that their way of life and their societies and their businesses and their universities and their colleges and their technologies and their science is not doing. لِنُخْرِجَ الْعِبَادِ مِنْ عِبَادَةِ الْعِبَادِ إِلَىٰ عِبَادَةِ رَبِّ الْعِبَادِ, to turn their gaze and their conviction away from that which has been created to the Creator. That Allah is the doer, and Allah is the giver, and Allah is the maker, and Allah is the breaker, and Allah, health is in His hands, wealth is in His hands, sickness is in His hands, poverty is in His hands. قُلِ اللَّهُمَّ مَالِكَ الْمُلْكِ تؤتي الملك من تشاء وتنزع الملك ممن تشاء وتعز من تشاء وتذل من تشاء بيدك الخير إنك على كل شيء قدير تولج الليل في النهار وتولج النهار في الليل وتخرج الحي من الميت وتخرج الميت من الحي وترزق من تشاء بغير حساب. Say unto them, O Allah, you are the owner of every kingdom. You are the owner of every kingdom. You give wealth, you give affluence, you give kingdom to whom you want to, and you take it away from whom you want to. يَفْعَلُ اللَّهُ مَا يَشَاءُ. Allah does as He wills. يَخْلُقُ اللَّهُ مَا يَشَاءُ. Allah creates what He wants. No one else's mashiyat, no one else's decision applies. Mudabbir, the arranger of every affair, the one in whose hand is every decree, is Allah. يُدَبِّرُ الْأَمْرَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ إِلَى الْأَرْضِ. From the heavens to this earth, there is only one law, one decree, one system, one maker, and that is Allah. وَهُوَ الَّذِي فِي السَّمَاءِ إِلَهٌ وَفِي الْأَرْضِ إِلَهٌ. He is the ilah of the heavens, and He is the ilah of the earth. He does as He wills. He creates as He wills. يَخْلُقُ اللَّهُ مَا يَشَاءُ. Yahdi man yasha. Allah guides whom He wants. Yudillu man yasha. He deviates whom He wants. Inna quluba bani Adama bayna usbu'ayn min asabi ar-Rahman yuqallibuhuma kayfa yasha. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, leave the other things. The hearts of man, the hearts of man are between two fingers of the fingers of Rahman. He will turn those hearts in any direction. يُقَلِّبُهُمَا كَيْفَ يَشَاءُ. He will turn it in any direction as He wills. لَا يُسْأَلُ أَمَّا يَفْعَلُ وَهُمْ يُسْأَلُونَ. And no one can question Him. No one can dare question His authority. No one can ask Him, you will be asked. Allah cannot be asked. يَهْدِي مَنْ يَشَاءُ. He guides whom He wills. يُضِلُّ مَنْ يَشَاءُ. He deviates whom He wills. تُعِزُّ مَنْ تَشَاءُ. Respect, honor, dignity, recognition in the hands of Allah. Tudillu man tasha. Disgrace, downtroddenness, humiliation in the hands of Allah. Adhaka, happiness in the hands of Allah. Wa abaka, sadness in the hands of Allah. Amata, death in the hands of Allah. Wa ahya, life in the hands of Allah. Ma sha'Allahu kan, kama sha'a kan, fil waqti alladhi sha'a, ala al-wajhi alladhi sha'a, min ghayri ziyada, wala nuqsan, wala taqaddum, wala ta'akhur, wa ma lam yasha' lam yakun. That happens which Allah wants to happen. It happens in a manner Allah wants. It happens in the time Allah wants. It will not happen before Allah wants. It will not happen after Allah wants. It will not happen more than that which Allah wants. It will not happen less than that which Allah wants. وَمَا لَمْ يَشَاء. And that which Allah doesn't want, all the forces of this earth get together. لَمْ يَكُنْ. It will never happen. One controller. لِنُخْرِجَ الْعِبَادِ مِنْ عِبَادَةِ الْعِبَادِ إِلَىٰ عِبَادَةِ رَبِّ الْعِبَادِ. We were sent. We haven't come. We were sent to turn the gaze and the conviction and the belief and the reliance of the whole mankind away from the creation to the Creator. وَمِنْ ضِيقِ الدُّنْيَا إِلَىٰ سَعَةِ الْآخِرَةِ. And to turn the gaze of the whole mankind away from the tightness of this world and the narrowness of this world and the constraints of this world to the vastness of the Akhirah. That Sufyan Thawri, Rahmatullah alayhi, goes into the court of Harun Rashid, Khalifa, the king, ruler, and he says, Assalamu alayka ya Zahid. Peace be upon you, O Zahid. Zahid means one who makes zuhud. Zuhud means to content yourself with very little. Person who contents himself with very little is called a Zahid. So Sufyan Thawri, an ordinary scholar of little means, addresses the Khalifa and ruler of 2/3 of the world and says, peace be upon you, O one who has contented himself with very little. So Harun Rashid is shocked, perplexed, to his consternation and surprise, such a manner of expression. He says, what is the matter with you? You are a pauper and you are calling me Zahid. He says, ذهبت إلى الدنيا ذهبت إلى الدنيا التي لا يساوي جناح بعوضة. That, O Harun, your efforts and your gaze is towards this world which is not equal in the eyes of Allah to the wing of one mosquito also. Not equal. He didn't say equal. He said not equal. This dunya, which it is said if a person travels from one side to the other side at the speed of light, 186,282 miles per second, to finish this universe, or what in hadith terminology is referred to as dunya or sama'ud dunya, will take 60 billion years. 60 billion years to finish what is not equal in Allah's eyes to the wing of one mosquito. We normally, when we hear the word dunya, we think of the planet Earth. In hadith terminology, dunya doesn't mean the planet Earth. Dunya means sama'ud dunya, everything beneath the first heaven, this universe. But let us assume that it is the earth. Earth is nothing. The sun alone is 12,000 times the size of the earth. And there are millions and millions and millions of stars that are million times the size of the sun also. And this earth is so insignificant. It is said, like on a vast page, if you put with a pencil one tiny dot, that also is not the relation of the earth to the universe. So tiny. And this earth also, if it is divided into 5 parts, 3 parts is water. From the remaining 2 parts, 1 part is rivers, forests, trees and jungles. And then 1 part remains of this tiny earth. And in that 1 part, it is shared by 6 billion insan. And in the amongst that 6 billion insan, in this one tiny part out of 5 parts, there is one Seth Sahib who sits in his factory and he feels that I am somebody. Main to kuch hu. I am somebody. What is his haysiyat? What is his position in relation to everything that is around him? This is why they say, agar apne haysiyat ko samajhna, to office mein baitkar mat samjho, mat socho, Baitul Khala mein baitkar samjho, ke mere andar se kya nikal rahe. That if you want to understand your position in the cycle of things, don't sit in your office and think about it, sit in the toilet and think about it. That what is coming out of me? What is coming out of me? If we have to hypothetically for our understanding assume hypothetically that dunya refers to this earth. So what Rasulullah ﷺ says, the earth in Allah's eyes is not equal. To make it easier for us, say it is equal. This earth is equal to the wing of one mosquito. In this earth is 200 countries. South Africa is one of 200 countries, approximately. So divide the wing of the mosquito, pro rata into 200 parts. And then from the tiny part that represents South Africa on the wing of the mosquito, decide what is Cape Town. And then in that tiny part that is Cape Town, decide what is Mitchell Plain. And that is if it is equal. It is not equal. That is why he said, Ad-dunya daru man la dara lahu. This dunya is the home. He will make it his home who has no home in akhirat. Wa malu man la mala lahu. It is wealth, power, recognition. I am somebody for the one who has no wealth in akhirat. Let them come and see what a big business I built up. What a big empire I built up. What is its relationship? What is coming with you? Nothing. وَلَهَا يَجْمَعُ مَنْ لَا عَقْلَ لَهُ. He said only he will gather this. Only he will put his efforts into gathering the things of this world and gathering and amassing the embellishments and the wealth of this world. مَنْ لَا عَقْلَ لَهُ, who has got no intelligence whatsoever. He is a fool. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says he is a fool. What does society say? He is an intelligent man. One is their thinking. One is the thinking which emanated from the arsh of Allah. Ya Rasulallah, inni uridu an akuna aghna nas. O Nabi of Allah, O Nabi of Allah, I want to be the richest of men. I want to be the richest of men. Go to society and say that to them. They will say, earn, loot, steal, lie, cheat, deceive, engage in fraudulent activities, take out bonds, do what you have to do, you'll become the richest of men. Sell your soul and you will become rich. What did he say? Kun qani'an takun aghna nas. Be content. Become content with that which Allah has decreed for you. You will be the richest of men. So simple. Be content with your lot. There is no greater richness than that. Otherwise, like in the beginning, Allah Ta'ala told His Malaika, I'm going to send insan on this earth and then they will procreate. So the Malaika said, oh Allah, this whole earth will get full. They're going to multiply, the earth will get full. Allah said, I will send them to earth and I will send death also. They will die and they will perish. This is how the earth won't get full. So the Malaika asked Allah that, Ya Allah, if their lives are going to be so temporary, and if each one knows that he is going to die, then what pleasure can there possibly be for them in this life? Give someone the most precious thing and tell him that buy it is only with you for a short while. Half his pleasure is gone. Why? Because I'm going to lose this. So what pleasure will be there for them? Allah said, I will send death on this earth and I will send hirs and greed also onto this earth. They will know death is a reality. But because of that greed that is there in the heart, he will be planning a 60-foot tall structure above the ground when the decision in the heavens has already been made that before nightfall he has to go 6 feet beneath the ground. And yet he will plan and plan and plan. Someone asked Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, amongst the narrators of hadith among Sahaba, the highest number of hadiths was narrated by Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu, approximately 5,374 hadiths. After him, the second highest narrator was Bibi Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha. They asked her, of all what you have heard from Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, of everything that you heard from Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what did you hear him saying the most often? What did he keep repeating? She said, I heard him saying the most often, لو كان لابن آدم واديا من ذهب أحب أن يكون له واديان ولن يملأ فاه إلا التراب. that man is such, if he had the one valley of gold, he'll want the second one. And if he had the second one, he'll want the third one. And if he had the third one, he'll want the fourth one. Nasha hai bhai, ek nasha. An intoxication. Hazrat Maulana Yusuf Rahmatullah Alayhi used to say that the sharabi, the drunkard, drinks liquor at night, he gets drunk. By the morning the drunkenness will pass. But the one who is caught up in the nasha and the drunkenness and the attraction of the love of dunya, that is such a nasha and intoxication that till his maut will not leave him. That is why he said, وَلَيْ يَمْلَأَ فَاهُ إِلَّا التُّرَابِ. Nothing but the sand of the grave will fill his stomach. Nabi Pak sallallahu alayhi wasallam made that effort upon his Sahaba to turn their gaze away from this dunya towards akhirat. To make them understand this world and everything that it contains is temporary. It is doka. It is a deception. Allah did not send you for this. That is why Sa'd bin Abi Waqqas radiyallahu ta'ala anhu sends a message to Rustam, a kafir king. He says, Inna ma'i qawm yuhibbun al-maut kama tuhibbu al-ajim al-khamr. That with me are a people, years and years of effort, years and years of qurbani and sacrifice, till every link and every attachment and every bondage with this world had been broken, till akhirat became such a reality. Law kushifa al-ghita mazdattu imana. If the veil between us and akhirat had to be dropped, Jannat and Jahannam in front of our eyes, our iman wouldn't increase.
सलाम सेठ साहब।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम। बीबी किधर है वो मुनीर?
वो अंदर है जी, बहुत बीमार है।
बीमारी का बहाना छोड़ो और किराया निकालो बस।
3 महीने से बीमार है जी, दुकान है बंद पड़ी है, जो पैसे थे इलाज पे लग गए।
तो मैं क्या करूं? 3 महीने से उसे बर्दाश्त किया है।
हमें थोड़ी सी मोहलत दे दे, बहुत मजबूर हैं हम।
मैं जितनी मोहलत दे सकता था मैंने दे दी है। अब तो तुम लोगों का एडवांस भी बराबर हो गया है। बस ज्यादा बातें न बनाओ, किराया निकालो। अगर किराया है तो दो, वरना आज शाम तक ये घर खाली कर दो।
सेठ साहब प्लीज मेहरबानी करें, हम छोटे छोटे बच्चे किधर लेकर जाएंगे? वो जैसे ही बेहतर होते हैं आपके पैसों का बंदोबस्त कर देंगे, आप फिक्र ना करें जी।
अब बीबी कैसे फिक्र ना करूं? ज्यादा बातें ना सुनाओ, उसे निकालो मुनीर को। ओ मुनीर जल्दी से बाहर आ। और तू बाहर आता है कि मैं अंदर आ जाऊं?
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सेठ साहब।
वालेकुम सलाम। अब बीमारी का ये मतलब नहीं है कि तू बहाना बनाकर बैठा रहे। ये कुछ सराय नहीं है। किराया है तो दो, वरना आज शाम तक ये घर खाली कर दो।
जिंदगी में मारा वक्त आ जाता है सेठ साहब, थोड़ी सी मेहरबानी कर दे। जिंदगी भर दुआएं देंगे हम आपको।
अरे मुझे दुआएं नहीं चाहिए, मुझे पैसे चाहिए, पैसे।
इंसान जिंदगी में 2 चेहरे कभी नहीं भूलता।
कौन से चेहरे बिलोल बाबा?
एक वो जो मुश्किल हालात में साथ दे, और दूसरा वो जो मुश्किल हालात में साथ छोड़ जाए।
मैंने क्या ठेका ले रखा है सबका? किस किस का साथ दूं? यहाँ तो हर कोई गुर्बत का रोना रोता है।
खुदा ने अक्ल दी है, आंखें दी हैं, सच को पहचानो और उसका साथ दो। क्यों गरीब मजबूर को तंग करते हो सेठ साहब? गरीब पर एहसान करो, क्योंकि गरीब होने में देर नहीं लगती।